Porter identified 4 possible competitive strategies in the book Competitive Advantage from 1985 in order to achieve a better result than the competition in the industry. These 4 strategies should be seen as a continuation of Porter's 5 forces. But now it's specifically about how a firm can achieve a favorable competitive position in the industry. The figure has 2 main divisions. One of them is competitive scope, which defines the breadth of the firm's target within its industry. The second is the competitive advantage. Each of these 2 broad divisions has 2 subcategories. We begin with competitive scope, sometimes also called the industry or the market. The firm has a broad scope and serves many or all segments in the industry, or has a narrow target where the firm focuses on customers in selected segments, where the focus can be more narrow targeted at these customers' special needs. The 2 divisions of competitive advantage is lower costs. The firm offers a comparable product cheaper than the competition in the industry or the selected segment. And differentiation. The firm offers a service or a product that is perceived as unique compared to competitors. The firm isolates themselves in relation to rivalry in the industry, and thereby customers become loyal and therefore less price sensitive. The 2 times 2 subcategories divide the model into 4 fields. These are cost leadership, differentiation, 2 focus fields which are cost focus and focus differentiation. Each field is analyzed in the following sections. The first is cost leadership, which is perhaps the clearest of the generic strategies. In it, a firm sets out to become the low-cost producer in its industry, also called the cost leader. This can be achieved by economies of scale. Low-cost producers sell a standard product to a broad target of the industry customers. They are also very cost-effective, especially in procurement, production and distribution. IKEA and Walmart are examples of cost leaders. They have a big profit by selling their products a little cheaper or at the level of the industry, as they have lower cost than the competition. The following field is differentiation. The firm offers something unique compared to the other firms in the industry. The firm is trying to find aspects of the product that customers appreciate. It may be the product itself. We are talking about a product's technology or design that appeal especially to the customer, and the customer is willing to pay a premium for those aspects compared to the standard product in the industry. Some bike manufacturers are trying to sell bikes on the appearance and/or additional technology accessories such as GPS. Some customers are willing to pay extra for this. The differentiation may also be the service that the firm offers both during and after the sale. The differentiation may also be in the image of the firm or the product, and it can be created through marketing. Clothing labels is an example. The products of the industry are relatively similar, but customers are willing to pay extra for certain brands. Now follows 2 examples. The first is cosmetics from Elizabeth Arden. They sell B2C products, where they differentiate themselves from competitors in the industry on the image and how their products are displayed in stores. The second example is Caterpillar in the B2B market for construction machinery. The differentiation is both the product itself, it has a very high quality, and after sales service, it is easy to get spare parts. These two factors are very important parameters in the construction industry, which customers are willing to pay a premium for. Now follows the two focus fields. Focus strategy is quite different from the previous two, because it rests on the assumption that there exists a narrow competitive scope within an industry. The firm that focuses selects a segment or group of segments in the industry and tailors its strategy to serving them to the exclusion of others. By optimizing its strategy for the target segments, the focuser seeks to achieve a competitive advantage in its target segments, even though it does not possess a competitive advantage overall. Porter points out that it is not possible to identify a segment that can be operated separately in all industries. Once, we would have said that sales of water cannot be divided into segments, but times are changing. If it is possible to identify segments that can be operated separately in the industry, competitive advantage is divided into two fields. These are cost and differentiation as in broad target. In the following we will analyze the two focus fields. The first is cost focus, which exploits differences in cost behavior in some separated segments. Bottled water instead of tap water. The firm is still cost conscious in these segments. The same parameters as the cost leader, just on a separate segment. An example would be the possibility of chartering a small plane for business trips for firms. Chartered flight is a sub-market of all flights. Providers must, however, always be cost conscious, otherwise customers will find another provider. The last of the four generic strategies is focus differentiation, which exploits the special needs of buyers in a certain segment. Such differences imply that the segment are poorly served by broadly targeted competitors who serve them at the same time as they serve others. Porter warns specifically about the distinction between differentiation and focus differentiation. Focus differentiation is specifically directed to selected parts of a segment. This part segment is willing to pay more for a particular benefit. An example could be exclusive travels of longer duration, which is targeted elderly persons who want extra service, no stairs, trained nurses to accompany the journey, etc. Exclusive travel is a narrow part of the total market, and the elderly is a differentiation of this segment. Porter warns about firms that do not have defined a clear generic strategy. They are engaged in each generic strategy but fails to achieve any of them. They are stuck in the middle. They possess no competitive advantage. Competitiveness is weak compared to those firms that have a clear strategy, either as a cost leader, differentiation, or focus. These firms have a clear position in relation to their customers. Cost awareness and differentiation is a contradiction in terms. Differentiation costs money. An example. Airlines trying to be in all strategies simultaneously. They want to serve all types of customers, which means that they will sell cheap tickets, business class, first class, etc. They want it all, and consequently they end up stuck in the middle. Now follows an example from an industry where there are firms in all four strategies. Handbags. Cost leader could be a firm that achieves economies of scale by getting mass-produced identical handbags in the Far East. These are then sent to Europe in containers and are sold without service through discount stores. All costs must be kept down to sell cheaper than the competition in the industry. Differentiation could be branded bags like Gucci or Prada. These are handbags with a brand that customers are willing to pay a high price for. Cost focus could be advertising handbags, where a firm offers other firms to mass-produce handbags with their logo. It's a small part of the handbag market, but the manufacturer must keep the price low, otherwise the customer selects another manufacturer. Focus differentiation, which would be an exclusive golf bag with the brand Titleist. The manufacturer focuses on a particular segment of the sub-market golf bags. Customers do not look at the price, but other factors such as quality, image, etc. Now follows a criticism of the model. It is difficult to define an industry. The boundaries of an industry are almost always moving. The model makes no recommendations about which generic strategy in the individual industry is the better choice. The model allows for continuous positioning of our own firm's competitive advantage, as well as continuous monitoring of our competitors' position in the industry, so we do not get stuck in the middle.